Welcome to 9 Minutes from the Past. Today, we're embarking on a journey through the fascinating history of the United States of America, one of the most influential countries in the modern world. From its humble beginnings to becoming a global superpower, the story of America is filled with pivotal moments. In exactly 9 minutes, you'll learn everything from the early settlers and the formation of the nation to its influence on modern history. Buckle up for an exciting journey through time. Before European settlers arrived, North America was home to thriving indigenous nations with rich cultural traditions and complex societies. These peoples had lived here for thousands of years, shaping the land long before any European explorers set sail. In 1492, Christopher Columbus's historic voyage, while aimed at finding a new route to Asia, marked the beginning of an era of European colonization in the Americas. Although Columbus never set foot on the land that would become the United States, his journey triggered waves of exploration and settlement that would forever alter the continent. By 1607, the first permanent English settlement was founded in Jamestown, Virginia. Over the next century, more settlers arrived, including the Pilgrims who founded Plymouth Colony in 1620. These colonies, though small, would grow into the foundations of a new nation. But as they prospered, tensions with the British Crown escalated. In the mid-1700s, the American colonies were thriving economically, but their growing frustration with British rule reached a breaking point. The imposition of taxes without representation, the strict trade laws, and the increasing military presence led to rising discontent. One of the most famous acts of defiance came in 1773 with the Boston Tea Party, when colonists threw an entire shipment of tea into Boston Harbor to protest British taxes. This defiance culminated in the Declaration of Independence on July 4, 1776, when the 13 colonies proclaimed their right to self-governance. What followed was a brutal war for independence, with George Washington leading the Continental Army against the might of the British Empire. After years of struggle and key victories like the Battle of Saratoga, the Americans secured their independence in 1783 with the Treaty of Paris. With victory came the challenge of building a new nation. The U.S. Constitution, ratified in 1787, laid the foundation for a democratic republic. It established a balance of powers that still governs the country today. George Washington, the Revolutionary War hero, became the first president in 1789, leading the new nation into its future. The 19th century was a time of rapid expansion for the United States. Pioneers and settlers moved westward, driven by the idea of manifest destiny, the belief that America was destined to expand across the continent. This led to the displacement of countless Native American tribes and the acquisition of vast new territories, from the Louisiana Purchase in 1803 to the annexation of Texas in 1845. But this rapid expansion also brought growing tensions between the northern and southern states, particularly over the issue of slavery. While the North moved toward industrialization and a free labor economy, the South remained dependent on slavery to sustain its agricultural wealth. These opposing views came to a head in the Civil War, 1861-1865, the deadliest conflict in American history. Under President Abraham Lincoln, the Union fought not only to preserve the nation, but also to end slavery. The turning point came with the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, which declared all slaves in Confederate territory to be free. After 4 years of bloody conflict, the Union emerged victorious, and the 13th Amendment officially abolished slavery across the United States. The Civil War reshaped the nation, leading to a stronger federal government and setting the stage for Reconstruction, a challenging and turbulent time of rebuilding the South. As the 19th century came to a close, the United States was growing not only in size, but also in power. By the early 20th century, it had become an economic giant. The U.S. entered World War I in 1917, playing a crucial role in bringing the war to an end and establishing itself as a key player on the global stage. In the years following the war, the country experienced rapid social change. One of the most significant milestones was in 1920, when the 19th Amendment was passed, granting women the right to vote. After decades of struggle, American women could finally participate fully in the democratic process, signaling a new era of social progress. But just as the nation was finding its footing, the Great Depression struck in 1929, plunging millions into poverty. The New Deal, introduced by President Franklin D. Roosevelt, helped the country recover, but the challenges didn't stop there. World War II erupted in 1939, and after the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, the United States joined the conflict. American forces fought on two fronts, Europe and the Pacific, and played a decisive role in defeating the Axis powers. The war ended with the dropping of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945, which not only ended the conflict, but also cemented the U.S. as a superpower in a new post-war world. After World War II, the United States found itself locked in a new kind of conflict, the Cold War. This ideological and geopolitical struggle with the Soviet Union dominated the latter half of the 20th century. The U.S. was deeply involved in proxy wars, the nuclear arms race, and the space race, which culminated in the historic 1969 moon landing. Neil Armstrong's famous words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," echoed America's leadership in science and technology. But back home, the fight for civil rights was in full swing. In the 1960s, the civil rights movement, led by figures like Martin Luther King Jr., sought to end racial segregation and secure equal rights for African Americans. The passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a monumental victory, but the struggle for equality continued. Fast forward to 2008, and America made history again by electing Barack Obama as its first African American president. His election was a symbol of hope and progress, coming at a time when the country was facing significant challenges, including the Great Recession and ongoing wars in the Middle East. In the 21st century, the United States continues to be a leader on the global stage, but it faces new challenges, from economic shifts to climate change and evolving political dynamics. The history of the United States is a story of resilience, change, and influence. From its fight for independence to becoming a global superpower, this nation has shaped not only its own destiny, but also the course of world events. As it continues to evolve, America remains a symbol of both opportunity and challenge. What era or country would you like to explore next? In 9 minutes. Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. Until next time.